What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the peril.
Hello and welcome, Martinsville Speedway. It is the Major League Esports Super Late Model Series getting ready to go green in just a few minutes. Right now, watching the 21 car, Cody Tabor. Very interesting qualifying strategy out of him. You know? I'm Matt Egan, joined tonight by Justin Richter. Say hello, Justin.
Hi, we've been watching Cody do some strange things today. Wondering how that's going to play out for the race.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of strategy that is there. I mean, you know, a little bit interesting, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we were teasing about it. We were teasing with him about that earlier. He's just been messing around. It's fun to watch.
Take a look at the 65 car making his run around this speedway right now.
Yeah, he'll be coming off turn 4. This will be his first lap. He'll be starting his second lap here as he goes into turn 1. No time posted, so maybe that was the beginning of his first lap? I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What do you mean you don't know what's going on?
Well, it says on his thing that this is his second lap, but a time didn't get posted.
Well, there you go. Probably because he hit the wall the first time. That 65 car very tore up right now on that left side. We're going to be 100 laps here tonight, so not that long of a race for this racetrack. A little bit of a small field, only 11 cars right now, so it definitely has that very, say, very nice kind of short track vibe, you know? Like local short track vibe going on.
Yeah, Martinsville is known for being that short track that most people know about, and of course it is the smallest track on the NASCAR circuit.
And the oldest.
Yeah, that's true. They'll be celebrating their 70th year this year in NASCAR or whatever. They're celebrating something about the 70th. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, Martinsville is turning 70. Fun fact, I believe, I'm going to double check this, but I believe ever since the inception of NASCAR, Martinsville has been on the circuit, and yes, it is also the only racetrack that has been on the NASCAR circuit since its beginning in 1948. So, how about that? The oldest track on the NASCAR schedule.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one to see how these super late models handle. Drivers meeting is going on right now. I had to turn off my racing chat for that.
Could be good. First NASCAR race at Martinsville was in July 4th, 1948. So I guess the original July 4th NASCAR race, you know?
Yep. And it was Martinsville, now it's Daytona.
Well, yeah, I think that date's kind of changed around a little bit, but I think since Daytona's been out, it's always been Daytona, you know?
Yeah. The Firecracker 400.
I think it's really cool that Martinsville's added lights to their track, which is very very interesting. The first night race there in real life is going to be in early October, NASCAR Modified Series. Hopefully we see the Cup Series race there at night. That would be I think that would be good.
I think they're planning on doing that next year for the 2018 schedule.
I mean, I'm in support of it.
Trucks will most likely do it, I bet you that.
Yeah, Hey, Chris Harvey's out in the chat. Hey, Chris, haven't seen you around in a while. Welcome back. Glad you tuned in tonight. Martinsville is just a very interesting racetrack. Very historic. And it's an interesting configuration. It's the only track on the schedule that has asphalt straightaways and concrete corners. Well, not fully concrete corners, but still. So it makes for a very interesting transition on the racing surface. And I know right now we're not really talking about any on-track action everyone's kind of finished their qualifying run and they're in the driver's meeting now, so we're kind of just talking about Martinsville. We're 2 races into the season right now. We did not broadcast last week as we had other thing happening, but here in the rest of the season, so it's going to be a very good season. And you may recognize that name, Cody Tabor, car number 21. He's the owner of Hardline Racing League, who we broadcast for on Friday nights and soon to be Wednesday nights. Their truck series starts up April 14th, and we head to Rockingham and Eldora during that season. Those aren't the first 2 races, but we do go there. So that'll be interesting. But let's focus on the action tonight. Justin, what do you expect to see out of these race cars?
From watching practice, I think it'll be a very good race. Of course, Martinsville is known for being usually a one-lane track. Some drivers are kind of experimenting with going a little bit higher in the turns, but I think for the most part, it's going to be whoever has the inside will be the dominant car.
Yeah,
and I think clean air is going to be pretty important here.
I'm glad you brought that up because that is a trait of Martinsville, is that the inside line is always the line to be, and it is very rare and almost, I wouldn't say impossible. It's very, very difficult to actually make a pass work on that outside line here in Martinsville just because of the way this track is. And it's interesting to see when drivers get caught up on that outside line on the restarts, how they do it. Some drivers kind of have to, try to muscle their way into the bottom line. Other drivers kind of just accept what it is and fall in line. And others still fight for the lead and sometimes actually get it.
Yeah, and there's, 11 cars registered for this race?
That would be
so
correct.
It's not going to be like the track is going to be completely covered. But it's not going to be an empty track where there's just 5 or 6 cars on this track. There'll be enough to where we can have a decent bit of action going on at all times.
Well, that's why I said earlier, it's kind of like a local short track kind of vibe going on. Some local tracks, certain classes only have like 13, 15 cars. I mean, my local track, lucky enough to always have a big turnout with any class except, well, especially the street stock class. There's like 20-something cars there. And anyway, qualifying's wrapping up. We'll get straight to the grid walk presented by the Pine Creek Road in just a few moments here at the beautiful Martinsville International Raceway. Pine Creek Railroad, speaking of which, New Jersey Museum of Transportation, 4285 Atlantic Avenue in Wall Township. We're opening up Palm Sunday weekend is when Alair starts their first run of the season for the Easter Bunny trains, and guess who gets to play the Easter Bunny this year? Hi, right here. Yeah, that's not going to be very fun, but hey, it is what it is, As the rest of the cars start to grid up, and we will roll through the starting lineup here at Martinsville. How about row number 1? We're looking at row number 1, which is going to be Trevor Edwards and Dustin Logston. And row 2, Bob Lurin and Douglas. Oh, no, Justin, help me out with that name there.
What are you looking at again?
The starting lineup. And I'm looking at the wrong starting lineup.
Yeah, you're looking at the entry list.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't like about how our TVO does it. Jason A. Day and Trevor Edwards, row 2. Row 3, Jason Dockery and Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, that's how you pronounce that. And Russell Aier. Row 4, Bob Loran and Ryan Lang. Row 5, Dustin Logston and Cody Tabor. Cody Tabor, you know, Cody didn't want a lot of screen time tonight. I think he's gotten a lot in qualifying already. Row 6, and rounding out the field, Douglas Wostocki. And currently, Bob Loran and Dustin Logston are the 2 drivers not to grid. Joshua Hart and the 44 car of Jeremy Stanley in the ASN colors takes the front row. Now, it is 2 laps here at Martinsville for the formation lap, so we're going to talk to Jeremy Stanley. Jeremy Stanley, have you got a copy on us?
That's 10-4.
Well, how is that number 44 American Sim Network car running in practice?
Couldn't really find anything on the first half of practice. Second half, a lot more smoother, more stable, and I could put down a better lap time. So to start this race, I'm feeling very comfortable.
Well, you're starting second right now. Now, that outside line at Martinsville is notorious for not being a good place to be. How are you going to try to challenge that? Are you going to try to challenge for the lead, or are you going to fall back into line behind that 95?
95 is running really quick. I feel like I'm going to fall in line. I'm usually better on the long run anyway, so I'm just going to see what other people's lines are and try to improve from there for the rest of the race.
All right, thanks for talking to us, and good luck in the race. You have 1 lap till you go green. We're totally not biased in rooting for you.
Yeah, well, thank you, guys.
That was the 44 car of Jeremy Stanley. Once again, in the beautiful ASN colors, which were actually done by him. He painted that race car, and I think he did a very good job, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, we're going to have this, we're going to have going down the backstretch here. Pace laps are going to be very short here, so cautions will go by very quickly, but the pace car is dipping off, and Joshua Hart and Jeremy Stanley lead them through 3 and 4. Joshua Hart going to bring it off turn 4, and green flag will fly here at Martinsville.
And green. We're racing in Martinsville. Very good start for that number 95 car. He got a good run. And that number, you see the 65 got way high on that initial start there. That's not very good now, is it?
Trevor Edwards going to sneak into second, and wow. Jeremy Stanley tried pulling down the inside. Jason Dockery wanted to deny him that spot, drove it in really hard, gave him a little bump, but had to back off to not take out both of them, and Jeremy Stanley would be able to keep the 3rd spot.
I don't know if you saw, but Jason Day got into the back end of the 19 there in turn 3 on the first lap. They kind of made a little bit of contact together.
Was it in the center of 3, or was it going in?
I was coming out of 3, actually.
Oh, well, it's probably because Jason had to check up so he didn't take out all 3 of them.
Well, yeah.
Joshua Hart is starting to open up about a 2-car length lead over Trevor Edwards. That's another about 3 car lengths back to Jeremy Stanley, Jason Dockery, and Jason Ade, all in a little group there for 3rd.
65 car, Rustin Layler not having the best of luck. Luckily not any damage, but I saw he almost tapped that wall a few times on this initial start, which is not a good thing to do here at Martinsville.
Well, yeah, these turns are very tight, so hitting the wall on exit won't be the hardest thing to do because of the way the corners are arced and the horsepower these cars are going to have, and the power they're going to have coming off the turn. They're going to be center turn looking dead at the backstretch wall. So they have to get a good exit here, or else they're going in the wall.
That 32 car is giving the 95 of Joshua Hart. That's Trevor Edwards in the 32 right there, giving him a good run for that lead. As you saw, they were right up against each other. 6 out of 125 laps complete here.
Yeah, and Jason Dockery actually did get to the inside of Jeremy Stanley there that last time by, and did take the spot. Now he's looking at catching the front two of Joshua Hart and Trevor Edwards. He's in 3rd, and he has a fast car, but it's just going to be a matter of can he get there or not. And now Jason Ade is trying to get to the inside of Jeremy Stanley, but Stanley is able to hold him off for another turn.
Yeah, that 44 American Sim Network car, I guess it actually looks like he might be a little bit tight. Watch him getting into these corners here. It looks like that car, see, it looks like he's kind of trying to fight that car a little bit, I think.
I think what he's doing, he's taking a very low entry, and it is causing him to slide up a little bit, because you see Jason Ade is taking a lot later entry than Stanley is, and it is causing him to slide up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a strategy for tire conservation or what, but it is definitely not working the way that 44 Stanley Would be hoping it to be working unless it is his plan. But, you know, if I was him, I would not try to fall too far back here.
Cody Tabor has just come to the pits with a ton of right side damage.
Yeah, that car is very much tore up. That number 21 car, Cody Tabor. Guessing he got tight and put that in the wall. And you know, that's the thing here. These cars get incredibly tight very easily. And, you know, that's a setup issue, really. And you know, this isn't a fixed setup series. So I think that's pretty good to begin with, because I love seeing these guys when they have the ability to tweak these cars and kind of, you know, mess around with them, get them to how they like them. But at the same time, if you make one bad adjustment, well, you could wind up like the 21 car and on the pit lane.
Yeah, and these guys do not have fast repairs, so that's going to be a decent bit of repairs for Cody there as he sits in pit road, while the 32 is all over the 95's back bumper.
Yeah, you see that 32 gets right up on the back bumper, especially out of the corner here, but he can't really make the pass. And, well, here we go.
He's going to get to the inside here.
He's going to dive it in pretty deep there, and you see he washes up a little bit, but he'll be able to complete the pass. That'll be for the race lead, and Trevor Edwards takes the lead, lap number 12.
And this is, of course, a really good
the 95
run.
just got into the wall. Sorry to cut you off there. He clipped it pretty good there, and I'm imagining something like that is what happened to Tabor, you know?
Yeah, we're watching them here as they run, and we're thinking, this is some good racing. There's still 110 laps to go here in this race.
Yeah,
so these guys are probably taking it easy.
Yeah, these guys are taking it easy, and you see the racing we've got for the lead right now, so I don't know what it's going to look like on lap 125. What I'm wondering is, are these guys going to need a pit for fuel?
That's a good question.
I'd say tires, definitely, because they probably fall off pretty quickly. Or, not quickly, but, you know.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to watch, though, as these guys try and perform different strategy and different modes of conservation and everything.
Yeah, and you know, and here we go, battle for second right now. That's Jason Dockery to the inside of the 95 of Hart. I'm wondering if that right front damage is anything to do with that 95 car kind of falling off, or if he ate up the tires a little bit.
Maybe he's just trying to keep them conserved so that he has a lot for when he needs it.
That could be too. Meanwhile, Jeremy Stanley keeping well in front of Jason Day at the moment. Two
Ryan
cars.
Lanes just caught them.
What?
Ryan Lanes, as I would say, has caught the 51, is trying to get around him.
He told me it was Lang.
Oh.
And now you know. Ryan Lang, yes, to the inside of Jason Day, gets right past that number 51 car. Now, I don't think there's a lot of adjustments you can do these super late models as far as pit stop adjustments.
Yeah, I don't think there really is either. So that you're basically what you had in practice is what you have here.
Could be a bit of a problem for some of these drivers, you know.
Jeremy Stanley now starting to close in on Joshua Hart. That's the front row right there. Are running third and fourth, and not really they're not definitely not the fastest cars out there. Trevor Edwards and Jason Dockery are currently pulling away very quickly. They started third and fifth.
Does that 44 have damage? I'm on board with him. It looks like he might have popped that right front up just a little bit.
It doesn't look like he has too much damage from the outside view.
Might have gone into the wall though.
Well, I mean, pretty much all these cars have gone into the wall by now, probably.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You know, just brushed it a little bit. But yeah, you mentioned Trevor Edwards, Jason Dockery. Yeah, definitely the class of the field right now. And, you know, that could actually be a problem. I know that sounds weird. How could being the fastest car on track be a problem? Let me explain. This track, especially with the concrete surface, lays down rubber very, very, very quickly. And the track heats up quickly, too. So if you're this good on a bit of a cold track with not so much rubber, think about how you're going to be about 100 laps from now at the end of the race when it's a very hot track. You got a lot of rubber laid down. That's why I kind of think that you want to make a long-run race car, not a short-run race car. I mean, in a cup car, it doesn't really matter all that too much because you can make the world of adjustments. But with the super late model, all you can really adjust is the tire pressure, you know?
Well, and we talked to Jeremy Stanley before the race, and he said that he thinks that he has more of a long-run car, which is a good thing for him. And the track temp started off at 72 degrees. So the track is definitely going to heat up quite a bit as this run goes on.
Yeah, no way the track temp is 72 degrees right now. Looking at the weather, though, temperature outside right now, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 28% humidity, and 6 km/h wind speed. And the track information, Martinsville Speedway is a 0.49-mile-long short track with 4 corners. The track temperature at the start of the green flag was 90.64 degrees. That is a hot racetrack. Well,
So that's just,
not
that's
really.
That's 18 degree increase in only about 40 minutes. So
Imagine what it's
how
going to
this
do.
race is going to go.
Yeah, imagine what it's going to do over the course of this race. That, again, that's going to go up a lot. So while it's good to be very dominant right now, you want to make sure that your car is not going to fall off and, you know, I'm not saying turn into, like, you know, running dead last, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and Trevor Edwards is still pulling away a little bit over Jason Dockery, but it's Joshua Hart and Jeremy Stanley. Joshua Hart going to pull high. He seems to... I wonder if he has a problem, because he is not running very fast.
Well, that 95 car, he's been running up about in that top 5 all night, but yeah, you may be right. He's definitely got something wrong, because you can look out the back, and if you look, watch through the corner here, that right rear is popped out a whole lot more than the other tires.
And he seems to be struggling to get it down. Jeremy Stanley right there was able to fly by him. Ryan Lang is really trying to get by him.
Yeah,
Lost
now,
a second that last lap alone.
Now that's either he got into the wall in a weird way, or he's knocked the right rear suspension. And you know, when that happens, the fact that he's still going, if he did knock the suspension, which I don't think he did, but you know, it is possible. Gonna go in car with the 95 car, just try to get
short track cars tend to be able to take hits pretty well. But when you get some major go wrong, it goes wrong in a hurry, and it goes wrong bad.
Yeah, watching him work this wheel here, it doesn't look like he might knock the suspension, because he would be holding that wheel in a whole different way than rotating it in a different way than he was. But definitely not good what he's done to that car. You know, it is definitely causing him some issues. And if we look outboard, yeah, that number 31 car, Ryan Lang, is all over the back end, and that 95 just smacks the wall again.
Yeah, I think he's
really tore up that car.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have some problems once he gets towards the end of this race. Trying to listen on driver chatter and see if there's anything, if they're saying anything in there, but nothing that I can tell.
I think what's happening is what I said wouldn't be good. That car started off class of the field, you know, fastest car on the track. Just as it heated up and rubbered in, that car's not translated very well.
Yeah, and Jason Day seems to be struggling well, as long as Russell, how did you pronounce his name? Number 65?
65. I said Layler. I don't know if that's right or not.
Well, yeah, him, Jason Day, and Joshua Hart all struggling here. So they are all well off the pace. In fact, Russell is going to be going a lap down to Trevor Edwards here momentarily.
Well, you got Douglas Wistaka. I think.
Wisaki?
Wisaki. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wasabi is set with a K.
Wasabi. You see, he went a lap down there. So, you know, one car lap down, that 65 is going to be next. And, you know, Trevor Edwards definitely trying to get to him.
I think what Edwards is trying to do, he's trying to get as big of a lead as he can, because he knows that everyone's tires are going to fall off. You can't prevent it. So he's trying to get as big of a lead as he can without killing his tires before everyone's tires are gone, so that he has a cushion to lay back on.
Yeah, well, the 65 car, I'm hoping, is going to let the 32 by, because Trevor Edwards is right up to the back end of the 65 right here.
Yeah, it looks like the 65 is running a lot higher just so that he can't get by. Yeah, he's going to pull way.
Don't put it in the wall. Don't go that high now. 6 cars out of the original 9 that started this race are on the lead lap, and we have had 1 car that is wrecked out of the race, that being the 21 of Cody Tabor, and 2, Dustin Logston and Bob Loran, that did not start the race.
I think they're the admins.
Okay, well, that would explain that. Oh, and focusing in on that 51, you see that on the backstretch, he just went right up into the outside wall.
Yeah, he's got some damage. He's
tore that
Not
up.
off pace, but he's not
What
on
happened?
pace either.
I'm trying to figure out what caused him down the middle of the backstretch to kind of put that thing so hard into the wall, you know?
Well, he has a lot of right side damage, so he may have a decent bit of drag, aerodynamic
Well, no, he
drag.
got that damage from nailing it in the wall. Is what I'm saying.
Maybe it's some with a setup.
Yeah.
Joshua Hart just said his car is a dump truck.
Yeah, I can imagine so. That car is definitely not having the best of nights.
And the 65 is on pit road.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trevor Edwards now starting to close in on the 51 car of Jason Day. I'd give him about 3 laps before he catches him.
Yeah, I'd say about right. Well, what's the gap between the two?
16 seconds, and you're about 19, I'd say, when you go down.
Yeah, actually, yeah, 16 seconds.
They go 65 back on track.
Yeah, and the 32 is going to get past him right there. That 32 car, fastest car on the track. Like I said, though, you got to be careful of that. Don't want to fall off at the end of this race here. 44 out of 125 laps complete. What would be the halfway point tonight?
125.62.
So definitely closing on halfway. You can see Jason Day coming down pit lane.
Yeah, it'd be 62.5 would be half of 125. So
I am wondering about the the tire wear.
I imagine that's what Trevor Oates is trying to do. I think they all may be planning on pitting, so Trevor is trying to get as big of a lead as he can before they all do. Because he's up to a 4-second gap, 6.5 on third, and about 9 on fourth. So
yeah, well, if we get a caution, which is obviously unlikely, but you never know.
Anything can happen.
If you get a caution, that's gonna shoot that gap and your strategy completely down.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, he's hoping not to get the caution, but it is, possible. Meanwhile,
Jeremy Stanley said that his car would be a long-run car, and I believe it because he's actually about the second car. I think he's the second fastest car on track besides Trevor Edwards, and he's looking at Jason Dockery as there's Jason Day right behind him coming out of pits.
Yeah, currently he is the second fastest car on the track, and he's about a 10th off of what the leader is running at the moment. So yeah, that's definitely a long run race car that 44's got, and that's good. But I feel like he might have benefited a little bit more from having a little bit of best of both worlds, because he fell off a lot at the initial start, which wasn't good, you know.
Well, considering what it seems like we're gonna have a big green flag run here unless something happens. Which, I mean, of course anything can happen. But it looks like we're going to have a long green flag run, which if he does have a long run car, that could really help with the way Trevor Edwards is pushing his car right now.
I'd say we've already had a long green flag run.
Well, we're 50 laps in out of 125, so.
Do you want to consider that long run?
I don't know.
Because maybe that's just
in Cup cars, I know that the Martinsville run is about 100 to 125 laps. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out here.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, yeah, you got a point there. Super late models and the Cup cars, especially its short tracks, are somewhat similar. Different power, obviously, and I think the Cup car would be faster, but, they drive somewhat similarly.
Well, at tracks like Martinsville, there's only one way you really can drive, but...
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The handling, the tire wear and stuff.
Yeah.
They're vaguely similar is what I'm saying.
Will be next car to go a lap down will be Joshua Hart, and they're actually they're actually not Trevor Edwards not far behind him.
Competition caution wouldn't be a bad idea right about now. Get some guys caught up. Be nice.
Get some wave rounds.
Yeah, be nice here.
Right now, there's the 5 cars in lead lap. Douglas Wasaki, who is right behind Joshua, is 1 lap down. Jason A. Day is 3 laps down, and Russell is 5 laps down. I don't want to pronounce his last name because I don't want to be wrong.
Well, you know, it's Layla.
You have confirmation on that?
I don't, but I mean that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And then you've, of course, Cody Taylor can still come back, right? He's only 45 laps down.
I mean, I think he's disconnected from the server, so.
He has. Well, he actually lost connection with the server a long time ago, but
Oh, so he didn't disconnect of his own.
it was about 10 laps after he went off track, and he just never came back.
I see.
Quiet moment, or quiet time in the race.
I mean, yeah, everyone's kind of really spread out right now.
Jeremy Stanley really is starting to close in on Jason Dockery. I'm watching that gap. It's closed by about
There's about half a straightaway.
Yeah, it closed to by about a second over the last 10 laps. So
Yeah, they're very close to each other right now, and that's something right there when the leader is lapped literally almost the entire field.
I mean, he's left half the field.
Yeah, it's a rare occurrence when it happens, though. But I mean, when it happens, it happens.
I mean, it's not really rare because that's, I mean, in the Cup Series, that's lapping 20 out of 40 people. So
Yeah, but well, I mean,
That
like
happens
okay, yeah, I see your point. I see your point.
there's the 45 letting the 65 by.
Yeah.
They're both laps down though.
Yep.
Joshua Hart is now about 2 car lengths from being lapped, and he's whoa.
Oh,
Trevor
that
Edwards got
32
really
almost spun
loose.
out. That was interesting there.
Wouldn't that be something? The leader spins, weighing out the first caution.
He's a little bit more than 2 car lengths now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there because I know Joshua's trying to stay out of the way. Probably he's trying to stay on the lead lap, but I mean, you gotta, when you're in his position, you have to just let the leader go by at some point because you don't have a fast car. You have a slow car that's not really running right.
Could have been aerodynamics which got that 32 loose.
Yeah, he's been running in clean air all race and gets in dirty air, the car that is semi-contendable. And
Well, that is no longer a factor as he's put that 95 a lap down. 63 laps complete, halfway in the race. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on American Sim Network, the Major League Esports at the beautiful Martinsville Speedway. Dirt racing coming to an iRacing simulator near you. In only a few days too, by the way. So who else is excited for that? I'm very excited for that.
I'm not.
You sit on a throne of lies, my friend. You sit on a throne of lies. Seriously, don't even try to lie about that, man. We both know you're excited. We both know you're excited for that.
This is the most interesting race I've ever seen.
What kind of voice was... do I even want to know?
Probably not.
Yeah, you're right.
It's been 8 laps since we went to commercial.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're kidding. It was not 8 laps.
Okay, maybe 7. Because we went to commercial on 62 and they're on 69 now. About to see 70.
Wow. Martinsville, fast laps.
Yeah.
That being said, we'll be over quick. I mean, you know, almost 25 to go, and it's only 10 o'clock.
Only been 26 minutes.
Yeah, wow, you're right. And no, it's been 36 minutes since we went live, but
Yeah.
the conversations we have, these guys got to start passing each other. Come on now. Right now, Jeremy Stanley, though, I got to give credit to him. He has stayed very consistently inside the top 5 all night.
Yeah, yes.
Joshua Hart has disconnected from the race, folks. You see that?
Yeah.
Now that's something.
Right, something.
Trevor,
Down to 7 cars left.
yeah. 7 cars left. We started with 9. You know, the record at Martinsville for the least amount of cars to finish a race, 1951. 4 cars wound up finishing.
I would have expected 1.
Now that would be an interesting victory lane.
It's like, well, we won. We had no competition, but we won.
It would be like, well, you know, the 35 machine had great competition. Well, not really. Everyone kind of wrecked out. We were just the last survivor right now.
We were king of the hill.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Well, Trevor Edwards about to lap 4th place of Ryan Lang.
That he is, and that will leave 3 cars. And Jeremy Stanley hits the pits.
I was wondering, because I saw on the timing that he had dropped off, and I was like, where's he?
So that would mean this 32 is going to have to pit soon.
Well, that leaves the 32, 19, and 31, I believe is the only, and maybe the 45 is the only cars not to pit yet, so.
At the moment, that would be correct.
And Jeremy's going to come back out onto the track. He'll be right in front of Douglas Wasaki and about, be behind Russell Layler.
49 laps to go. The problem is the pit stops take so long for these cars, such a short track. You'll go easily 2 down on a pit cycle here.
That's the thing I'm curious about. If the front 3 do try and go the whole race without pitting, is the 44 going to be able to get his laps back in time?
I don't think they're going to be able to, though.
I mean, if they do some serious saving here.
Yeah, I don't see that being possible, though. I mean, I do see what you're saying, though, but, you know.
Jason Day just came over the radio saying that he switched setups right before the race just to test it out, and it was not a good setup.
Yeah, I can imagine him be kicking himself now over that. Speaking of which, 2 cars are left on the lead lap at this very moment. How about that?
How about that?
Now that is something, you know?
Everyone's a lap down except for the one guy that isn't. He's still under a lap down, or a half a lap down.
Yeah, but that 32 still needs to pit, so I guess, you know.
There's a few cars that need to pit still.
Well, yeah. You are correct.
Whoa. So, I don't understand why the 65 goes that high when he's trying to get out of the way of the leaders. Because every time someone's trying to pass him, he just goes right into the Kyle Larson lane.
Look, I don't know either, man. I don't know. You know, it's an interesting strategy, that's for sure.
Well, Douglas Wasaki is going to go a 3rd lap down here. He is currently running in the 5th position. And Trevor Edwards continues to just pass people.
I'm just wondering when this 32 is going to pit, because I imagine he's going to need to pit at some point for tires.
Well, the scary thing is, Jeremy Stanley ran a 19.14 that last time, and Trevor is still running in the 19.56 range.
Yeah, that car's fast. That's for sure. He has nailed down the setup on that race car to a T.
Yeah, it may not have been the fastest on short runs, but it can still hold a decent speed.
I think it was pretty fast on the short run. We can't really say what's been fast on the short run. We haven't had a short run. You know, a short run would have implied that we've had at least one caution, and we have had 0 cautions tonight.
And we're about 85 laps in now, so.
I'd like to point out we're not complaining about there being 0 cautions tonight, though. That is a good thing in my book, you know?
Yeah, it's never a good thing when cars get torn up and taken out of the race, especially if it's like when someone in front of them gets involved in something and they just have nowhere to go, and people who had nothing to do with it get taken out, and it's just disappointing.
Well, cars have been torn up and taken out of the race tonight, but not in a full-scale crash.
Yeah, Cody Taylor and Joshua Hart, of course, not having the greatest of nights.
I'd say even some of the cars running at the back of the field right now are very much tore up, just not completely out of their race.
Yeah. 65 is the most notable one, probably.
Next week.
And the 51.
Next weekend, guess what track we head to?
Where?
South Boston.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. How about a real short track? And then this is actually, I think, this is the... Well, no, this Richmond and Iowa are the biggest tracks we go to.
Richmond and Iowa.
Yeah.
Then I go to Bristol?
No, we don't go to Bristol. The rest of the schedule is as follows. South Boston, Thompson, Concord, you know, that little miniature Pocono.
A triangle.
Yeah. Douglas Wasaki out of the race.
Where is there a T?
What?
You said Wistaska.
I was looking at the name. I was looking at the name. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Concord, near Smyrna, Stafford, Five Flags, Iowa, the Bull Ring, you know, that Las Vegas-based racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
USA Speedway, I'm assuming the pavement version, and Richmond.
I mean, the dirt version would be interesting.
I would be in support of that.
I would, too.
I would be, yeah, I support that.
Well, Jeremy Stanley just passed Ryan Lang, and he is going to quickly pull away. So that shows how much better these fresh tires are.
Yeah,
That gap there is about a lap worth.
Very good racing so far. Trevor Edwards, though, leads this race with 34 laps to go. This race is closing. You know, this race is coming to a close here. Some of these guys got to push, you know.
How many leaders have we had?
Well, we have had, you can take a look. We've had 1 lead change.
That was between Trevor and Joshua Hart, right?
Yep. The 95 swapped the lead with Trevor Edwards, and, well, yeah.
You can see what happened.
Yeah, folks, you can see what's happened since. Trevor Edwards has led 82 laps tonight. If it continues on the course that it has, there will only be a total of 11 laps he has not led. Now that's impressive.
Is it as impressive as Martin Truex Jr.'s Coca-Cola 600 last year?
I would say so. I would argue so. You know, 11 laps, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because short tracks, you have a little bit less you can do, so it's usually more equal. Usually.
Short tracks are interesting in the regard of lead changes.
They're their own monster.
I'm still surprised that number 32 has not pitted yet. Jeremy Stanley may be regretting his choice to pit right about now.
I mean, what else are you going to do, really? You have to take the gamble sometimes. And of course, the 19 and the 31 haven't pit either. So he's just kind of having to go with it.
Hey, I mean, are they going to have to pit, though? I would imagine so.
We up here in the booth do not know that, so...
Yeah, I should probably have done a little bit more research on the fuel capacity of a super late model.
Yeah, maybe.
If anyone in the chat knows, please tell us. We'll be right back to take one more quick commercial break, and then we'll be non-stop to the finish. Major League Esports from the beautiful Martinsville International Raceway, and Trevor Edwards is leading. He has led 87 laps tonight. 20 laps to go here at the Martinsville, and my modem just fell.
Good job.
Yeah. Gotta pick that back up.
Well, Trevor Edwards is still leading, but Jeremy Stanley is starting to close in. He's gained about 2 to 3 tenths per lap. He's now cut the gap between them to two laps into half a straightaway. So.
Yeah, but the problem is that, again, there's a 2-lap gap there. If he was on the same lap, I'd say that's something else, but
yeah.
I don't think that 32 is going to pit. I'm going to be honest.
I don't either, but if in the off chance that those front 3 did end up hitting, Jeremy Stanley would be in great position because it takes about 2.5 laps to go through the pit road process.
He would be the leader.
Yes, and
but that's if they pit.
And I don't think they will.
Somehow I don't think so either.
Unless they run out of fuel. What they could be doing, actually, because they may pit, but they may take just a tad bit of fuel.
Yeah,
and
that
maybe
could
right
be
sides.
That would still cost him about a lap, though, with the way pit speed is at Martinsville.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That would be. It will be interesting if they do pit, but 15 laps to go this time in the start-finish line. Folks, this has been a very fast race. I think it's only going to clock in at about an hour.
Yeah, and Jeremy Stanley, he's pushed so hard that his lap times are starting to equal that of Trevor Edwards. I don't understand how Trevor Edwards has kept almost the same lap time since the beginning, because he was running in the high 18s at the beginning of the race, and low 19s, and over time, he gains about a 10th average per lap every about 30 laps. So I don't know how he's staying so consistent. I'll need to ask him about that.
Hey, there you go.
Need to get some tips.
Yeah, that could be. That would be good.
Because, I mean, that is the most consistent I've ever seen anyone.
Consistency is king at a track like Martinsville, where you have to get your marks every lap. If you don't, you can easily lose your lead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're in the position he's in, maybe not as easily, but...
Well, yeah. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
If you're not the one of 2 cars on the lead lap.
Ryan Lang is third. He's actually about to go a second lap down, which means that he could be fourth by the end of this race, because Stanley is not far behind the leader. They're all right here together.
Very good running on this racetrack right now. Imagine if this 32 car got caught up in some lap traffic and wound up getting in a crash with only 10 to go.
Well, he's got 2 cars ahead of him and 1 behind him, so it's definitely possible.
Could get ugly.
I think all these guys have plenty of respect for each other and will give each other a ring.
I'm saying if someone makes a mistake, I'm not saying take them out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And you know that's possible.
Ryan got loose.
It's definitely possible the way these tires wear and stuff. Someone could make a very simple slip up, like when that 32 got loose the first time, and you know.
Well, Jason allows plenty of room for both the 31 and the 32, and now the 31 is going to let the 32 by.
Yeah,
and this is going to get interesting. We're going to have a battle for third place here.
Yeah, we will actually. Now how about that? Some of the action's heating up with only 8 laps to go.
It took 116 laps, but it's heating up.
Yeah, well, okay. In the race's defense, there was a lot of action at the beginning of the race.
That's true.
And then everyone got real spread out, and then it's.
I'm curious if how hard Lang is going to push to try and defend, since he is that much slower than the 44, and the 44 is going to get to his inside here.
I don't think he's going to defend at all.
There's 44.
Yeah, that 31's kind of letting him by.
Yeah, he let him by.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think in the situation he is, he just wants to kind of finish the race, you know? Because as long as you're not the, actually, as long as you don't wreck, you're going to get a top 4 finish.
Yeah. They're,
literally impossible to finish outside the top 4.
They're talking in driver chat. Ryan said, I didn't want to let you by, but your fresh tires are just that much better than mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I think Jeremy's kind of given up on catching Trevor now and getting all that laps back.
Well, unless that 32 has like actually no, because the 19 would have to pit too.
Yeah, well, we haven't even talked about the 19 that much. He's been running second this entire time.
Yeah, because he kind of just snuck up into second place, you know?
And it's crazy because he has been second for almost all the race. He's just been very quiet in second.
Yeah, it's like we started the race, and he's kind of snuck up there, and we haven't really noticed him. Mostly because we've really been focusing on this 32 car, the way he's just been dominating this race. He's led 111 laps, and again, there's going to be only 11 laps tonight that he does not lead.
Well, there's 2 to go now as he dives into turn 1 and 2. And this race is all but over. I don't see him running
if he has a
out.
connection issue, now that would be something.
That would be interesting, but, I mean, I don't think there's going to be a connection issue in the next 20 seconds. White flag is out in the air. Trevor Edwards comes across the line. 1 to go, and it's pretty much over here.
Yeah, it is over. That 32 car has dominated the race tonight, and in much deserving fashion, I'll say, goes to victory lane here. Trevor Edwards wins it at Martinsville. Jason Dockery going to come across the line in just a few moments in third. Jeremy Stanley will finish third. Ryan Lang fourth. Jason Day fifth. Sixth, Rusty Layler.
And then Douglas Lasaki, Joshua Hart, Cody Tabor finished 7th, 8th, and 9th. They were out early in the race, will not get to finish. Douglas Lasaki was 41 down, Joshua Hart 59. Cody Tabor having issues on lap 8 and was finished 9th, 117 laps down.
Say now would be about the right time to talk to our race winner, Trevor Edwards. Trevor Edwards, if you got it, that is the wrong person. I pulled up Jason. Trevor Edwards, if you got a copy of me.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Victory Lane, man. You dominated tonight's race. You led 114 out of 125 laps. How does it feel?
Yeah, the setup was pretty good. I ended up just using a Stafford setup as a base, and it worked out pretty well for me, I guess.
It's pretty well. I think that's a little bit of an understatement. How is that 32 handling all night?
After I kind of checked out, I just kind of cruised around. I could have ran a little bit faster at the end, but it only got loose 1 or 2 times, and like I said, it was pretty perfect from other than that.
All right, thanks for talking to us, man.
Thanks, guys.
And Justin Richter will interview Jason Dockery, who will finish second tonight.
Well, Jason, a good run, the second and final car on the lead lap. How was your car tonight?
My car was tight. Made an adjustment right for the race, and it was obviously the wrong choice to make, and just got too tight for me.
So how were the cars on fuel? We were wondering if y'all would have to pit the entire race. How close were you on fuel?
I still had probably another 10 laps left of fuel. I overestimated for fuel as well.
Well, you got any sponsors or anyone you'd like to thank?
Still working on that front right now. I am sponsorless.
Well, good luck with getting a sponsor, and good luck in the next race.
All right, sir. I appreciate it.
And that was Jason Dockery. I will talk to you, did he exit stage left?
No, he's in public lobby.
Oh yeah, I see. I forgot he's an admin. Jeremy Stanley, you've got a copy on me, man.
10-4.
Unfortunately, you had to pit there. You would have probably had like a top 2 going on there. You finished third tonight. How did that car handle for you?
It was a little tighter than what I expected there on the long run. So I actually pitted because I figured I could get an advantage. It's early in the season. I wanted to try something different, so I pitted halfway. I was able to regain my spot back. So, I'm going to take that knowledge and I'm going to use it for the rest of the season.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank?
I appreciate you guys, ASN, for doing a broadcast for us all season here. It's going to be great to have you on board. No, that's about it. Yeah, just all the admins here for setting this series up. There's a lot of scrambling on the off season to get everything going. So major props to Ryan and Bob and Dustin and they were all of our partners on board with us this season. So hopefully the whole season's a good one.
Thank you for talking to us, man. Hopefully it is a good one. I mean, you put on a good show tonight. Maybe a win next week in Sobo.
I'm hoping to pick up a few. That's the plan.
All right, good talking to you, man.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, from all of us at the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We will see you Tuesday night. Hey, we're back on a regular schedule of broadcasting, sort of. But we'll see you Tuesday night. Anarchy Motorsports Series heads to California to finish out their West Coast swing. See you then. Hope you enjoyed.